Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a loss last time out, but they've been playing better than 500 ball the last couple months. 5 wins in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here come the Bengals now to take over. They'll be led out by the Red Rifle. From TCU, it's Andy Dalton.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away. Here now the offense for the Bengals.
Out wide they have A.J. Green, who can run every route you want on the route tree and take the top over the defense with his speed and has the length to go over the top of people to catch the ball. But maybe the most impressive thing about him, the only wide receiver ever to be a Pro Bowler in his first 7 years in the NFL.
2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded at the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Back to throw here. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Here's Gallman. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
Let's spotlight Odell Beckham Jr., who had a 1,000-yard season his first year in the league, despite not playing a full season, and that announced his presence with authority. How about this? The former cover athlete from Madden NFL 16, he's done nothing but pile up 1,000-yard seasons since.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now.
Now Gallman. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Right back to him on 1st down. And fights through one man. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Here we go now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again, so it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Time to look at the defensive starters for the New York Giants. Now they're squarely in the middle of the pack against the run this year, number 16 in the NFL.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
I know where we're headed on this. Terrific catch, gets his feet down, sets up a 4th down and short situation. But I bet we're wondering, why didn't he get to the 1st down marker running his route? Am I correct?
You got to know where the marker is, right?
Got to figure it out. I know every receiver is taught that. Sometimes circumstances change it. At least they have an opportunity to make a decision with not much yardage to go.
And New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Time to roll through the starters defensively for Cincinnati. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside. And that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a 1st down.
Gallman will run it. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well.
That's caught at the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And give him a gain of 37.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Odell Beckham hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now a 7-0 game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 77 yards.
They've won 2 straight games and have done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. To Mixon on the check down. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
And the Bengals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Dalton now to pass. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Play action here with Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed. And this is taken in at the 5. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They send Green to the left on his own. And it'll be Dalton again. And that says, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they...
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. A beautiful fake. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Open man right side is Ingram. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about that opportunity.
Now Joe Mixon. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Dalton bootlegs out. And able to find Green. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And the Bengals on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 18 for him on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. He's going to field this at the 4. Fights loose. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're going to look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
If you rank 1 from the bottom in statistics, that's usually not good in this league. And this team, 1 from the bottom in sacks, but somehow they've got 3 in this game. What's going on?
I know, they're 31 and 32. They better be careful, or they're going to be top 30 in the league. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he fields it cleanly. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, Dalton. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now Bengals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Olivier Vernon in there for the sack, and he's closing in on that all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And the Giants ready to come out now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to look deep. It's caught at the 25. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That goes for a gain of 31. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has a slide and find open space to throw.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas true blue on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Rosas now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. First and 10 for Dalton. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs. Dalton, first and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because any completions on 1st and 2nd down, now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Now let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Looking for Shepard deep. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the league. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Now Mixon. Oh, good move. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
You know, I have to be really happy after that play. The offensive line. To be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big-time play.
Yeah, because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it's a 2nd down. Dalton here from the gun. He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. This will be Dalton again. Green's got it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And all the way down to the 24-yard line. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like it.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll set up to throw. Able to shake him off. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
This is Gallman. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. Now Marshall. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line.
And he is in. Touchdown, Giants. Keith Marshall, his 1st touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Rosas to add the extra point. Rosas, true blue on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Again, it's Mixon. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Now they try the right side here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Making the play defensively, Carl Lawson.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here we go now.
On the ground, it's Gallman again. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a handoff looking right. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game, and I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield, picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll run with Marshall. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for first down the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. Ooh, the juke. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup there, and that'll make it second and short.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. They'll set up a throw. Staying on his feet. Flush. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Giants on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is third and goal.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
It got his man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. 47 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A first down throw coming for Dalton. His throw incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Mixon. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Dan Bailey now for the field goal try. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They start on the ground with Goldman. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. They'll run again here with Gallman. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Olivier Vernon in there for the sack, and it's an important one from a personal standpoint, as that is sack number 100 and what has certainly been a terrific career to this point.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
Not a great start to this drive. You had the sack, now the false start.
I mean, it doesn't take much to either read lips or just imagine what the head coach is saying right now. Get your head in the game, guys. Let's go.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Fielded at the 43. Now a hit and a loose football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And past the 30 down to about the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on in that.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Preston Brown, the linebacker. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Man open right side. It's Rodgers. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating from the gun. Dalton. To Mixon on the check down. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Third and 2 for Dalton. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. And New York set to take the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
He's able to get 6. A nice pickup now to the 21. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll look to throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you really don't.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
It's second down. Dalton looking. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
On first down, Dalton. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Dalton to throw. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. Then he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
New York set to take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
All right, here we go.
He'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Giants use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Rosas true blue on the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping Those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Oh, the strength of Eifert. Looking middle, and that's complete. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. First and 10 for Dalton. And that is incomplete here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Second and 10. Dalton once more. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
New York set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind that it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Now they try the right side here. Nice little juke. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third.
Here we go now.
They'll drop the throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Shane Ray in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Aldrick Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This one from 46 yards out. And Rosas puts this one through. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And Green with a catch left side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Another chance for Dalton. Over the middle, complete. It's Ross. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. This will be Dalton again. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Bailey now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for the Giants, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington Redskins come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.